I tried to film this video like 2 hours ago, but then the camera battery was dead, and then I tried charging it, and then it wasn't charging. So yeah, here we are 2 hours later. What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. I'm a 4th year medical student at Umeå University in Sweden, and this will be a little video talking about the takeaways, the lessons, what I've learned during this summer. So it was my first summer working as a doctor. I worked at a geriatric ward at the hospital, and I had 2 different seniors who both had studied in Norway, young female doctors, both of them. And I was kind of working as an intern and had no actual responsibility, but regardless, I could participate in rounds, help with admitting and discharging patients, and examining patients. Watching lectures and reading books kind of gives you the impression that there's a cure for everything, unless there isn't. But working as a doctor for the first time really gives you some perspective on the limitations of medicine. This summer also gave me added confidence with talking to family members. I've gotten pretty used to talking to patients, but during rotation so far we haven't really had the opportunity to talk to family members. Now, if the doctor happened to be busy and a family member called or came to the office wanting to talk to the doctor, I could give them an update on the patient or then refer them to the senior doctor if I couldn't answer their question. Working as a doctor in Finland also brought an additional challenge in dictating in Finnish. I would say the Finnish medical jargon contained a lot more Latin and also different abbreviations from what we use in Sweden. For example, MCC, which stands for coronary artery disease, which is an abbreviation that is not used in Sweden. What I would have wished a little more for is a patient rotation. I don't know if that's the correct translation, but basically due to long queues to both nursing homes and home care services, the patients had unnecessarily long hospital stays, leading to not much work for us doctors. So next summer I'm hoping for a little more fast-paced work environment and the opportunity to see more patients. So as you know, I'm from Finland originally, but I'm studying in Sweden. Even though I stayed with family for most of the summer and had my siblings at home to hang out with, I couldn't help but feel lonely sometimes. It kind of creeps up on you when you least expect it. It could be during a weeknight when you don't have a hobby planned, or during a Sunday afternoon when you dedicated the weekend to relaxing. Yet in my case, relaxing most of the times just made it worse. Sometimes it could proceed to a state of like restlessness, resembling anxiety, and I just wanted to go on a spontaneous coffee meetup or for a stroll outside with someone my own age who isn't a family member. So I tried to occupy myself best as I could to try to manage these bouts of loneliness in like a healthy way. If it had been a while, I tried calling some of my friends living abroad. And otherwise, going to the gym is probably the best way to like reset your body and brain. So sometimes I just went for a walk and just sat by the sea with my thoughts. Probably best thing to do because it teaches you to be by yourself while you're also actively doing something about that lingering nervousness you have. This feeling also made me appreciate my classmates and our common lunch breaks in the hospital. And after being back for a couple of weeks, I can say it's been really good. So onwards to the next topic, which is sailing. If you watched my content during the summer, it's been mostly sailing related, and it's a hobby I really fell for during COVID. And this summer got off to a ripping start by me attending the RIA Day Skipper course in Croatia. It was an intense week of improving my boat handling and navigation skills. You can watch my video about it up here. When I got back to Finland and started working, I continued practicing racing by participating in WSF Sailing Center, just like last summer. This summer I joined about a month later due to us having clinical rotations, so I couldn't go to Finland and do university through Zoom like last year. Anyways, this continued on Mondays throughout the summer. Slightly less boats and crew this year, but nevertheless, it's a great opportunity to fine-tune maneuvers and to learn from more experienced skippers. I also joined a new race crew this summer. Shout out to Kim, Simon and Jonas. We actually managed to win all the races we participated in. It wasn't all smooth sailing though, as we hit a rock pretty early in the season and had to take the boat out of the water for some maintenance. But I got to paint my first rudder, so that's always something. The long race we did this summer was a true test of mental fortitude, as 4 out of 7 boats had to abandon the race due to weather circumstances. Like after getting some 10 nautical miles out of the harbor, a squall hit us with lightning on both sides of the boat, and it took all winds for the next couple of hours. And before this, it was dumping rain, and I had already gone through my set of spare clothes. But due to the boat only having a small electric outboard, we had pretty much no other option than continuing with the race. Next day provided some good sailing conditions, and when we got a phone call that we were leading the race on the way back, we were surprised to say the least. It's hard to describe what's going on in your brain during these circumstances. It's like you want to give up and you'd rather be anywhere else than you are at that time. But then little by little circumstances stabilize and you start to find the small joys in life again. And then a little bit more time passes and it doesn't even feel that bad at all. And soon the sun is shining again. It's almost like you have a different brain. I don't know, maybe it's like your brain going into some kind of survival mode. But experiencing this truly strengthens you because you know you've been through it and that you can do it again. So if I could sum it up in one quote, it would be the age-old life begins at the end of your comfort zone. August brought back the Club Wednesday races, which also were a big success. Pretty windy conditions for the boat we were sailing. We sail J22s. But what I learned from this is that preparing well and good teamwork goes a long way. I'm looking forward to being back next year, and I've already set up goals for the next 2 sailing seasons. So here were my 3 takeaways from last summer, kind of like on a personal level, professional level, and then on like a interest/hobby level. What I also noticed last summer is that you just have way less time for like YouTube and gaming and streaming and generally spending time in front of a computer because you'd just rather be out doing other things. But I guess it's good. Taking a break is good because it also brings back motivation and reinvigorates you to, you know, making content and YouTube videos. So I'm probably gonna be posting more again. I already have a few videos planned out, and I also want to do some weekly vlogs again because it's been a real long time. I don't really have that much left of medical school. Like I have this year, then I'm doing my thesis, and then I have 1 more semester of clinical rotations. So I kind of like want to document this period for me, but also for you guys. So I have to wrap out this video because my battery is running out again. But I hope you enjoyed this little sit down video, and I'll see you in the next one.